I pray to thee, O Thanos, you who snapped your fingers for our sins. I pray that you give me the strength and the will to face my enemies in this, my darkest hour, until all are one. Amen. All right. Well, seems that a video I did this afternoon talking about how all the Captain Marvel controversy over the Rotten Tomatoes thing is basically a gigantic fraud slash hoax, not a conspiracy. No one's been consciously talking with their buddies all like, yes, if we do X, X, and X, this will happen. But conveniently, X, X, and X happened, leading to a certain result, and certain forces on YouTube and abroad of trying to capitalize it to keep their boring little channels of just unending nitpicking alive, because people are getting tired of talking about Star Wars all the time. Doctor Who didn't gain that much traction. The Star Trek argument is a little niche. But hey, get our wheels dug in over Marvel. Got a nice taste of that back in the summer with getting James Gunn fired. Let's do it again. So anyway, I made my own video talking about how all that's bullshit. That by agitating their fans, I watched this happen in the course of the day. It's not like I'm just making this shit up. Just the course of just watching as certain videos from certain channels came out, you just saw this pattern arising of initially it's like, oh, wow, man, Captain Marvel's only got a 76 approval rating on the Rotten Tomatoes. And then by some weird coincidence, 3 or 4 hours later, same channel will put out a second video like, whoa, man, they just dropped like 20% the last couple hours. What could have happened? I guess the fans is just really not looking forward to seeing Captain Marvel. And then a couple hours later, another video by the exact same channels. Whoa, man, shit. There's been a full 44% drop on Captain Marvel in just one day. The fans, man, oh my God. Until the course of, by the end of 24 hours, it was knocked down into the upper to mid 20s in terms of its anticipation score. And so Rotten Tomatoes decides that, well, this is being abused, so we're just going to stop this because Rotten Tomatoes is not a social media platform. It's just an aggregator for fucking movie critics, where it does allow public comments and public reviews, but it's not a social media site. So all the people making cries of like, oh, we're being silenced. I didn't realize that, like, really? Like, not being able to thumbs down something on any given website is somehow you being silenced? Did they come to your home? Did put Rotten Tomatoes duct tape over your mouths and kick you off all your platforms? Albeit it doesn't help that we do live in an age where certain people are being deplatformed, but there's somewhat the extreme cases, at least for now. Well, anyway, get home from work and see this video I made about the stuff I was just talking about there has, in just the course of a few hours, gotten up over 200 views. I got 26 dislikes as of now and 4 thumbs up. Have gained a couple subscribers. So in the face of all the thumbs downing, I haven't even looked at the comments yet. I'm about to go through and read them and just kind of live respond to what I see in them. But just judging a bit just off the like-dislike ratio here, I don't think I'm being bombed. I'm sure the things I've said are upsetting to some people. The thing is there's a weird trick to human psychology. People really react badly to being told that they're being defrauded and that they're being scammed. And a typical reaction to this is one would think the anger would be directed at the huckster or the snake oil salesman that's been ripping them off in some form or fashion. But instead, often people will react with anger to the person who's trying to tell them that they're being ripped off, that they're being scammed. that they're participating or being duped by fraudulent activity. These channels, World-Class Bullshitters, Geeks and Gamers, Comic Artist Pro Secrets, John Talks, Anti-Trekker, hell, I even saw Thor Skywalker kind of start to wade into this. Tim Pool, who I normally really highly respect, kind of knee-jerk falling into taking the, oh, they're silencing people banner, and it's just against a sign that I'm not in 100% agreement with anybody. It's horse shit. This is all being made up. Channels agitate their fans into doing this stuff and kind of sideline encourage it without actually ever having to come out and say, like, hey, go do this. Just, well, what a weird coincidence. I made a video talking about how people could go downvote this one movie that, you know, I've been telling everyone to hate for months now. And by some weird coincidence, a couple hours later, it got downvoted a whole bunch. I better make another video letting more people know this is going on. And what a weird coincidence. Even like, oh, it's just all this just big, wonderful coincidence that all this happened at the same time that all these channels were making these videos in the course of the same span. They had nothing to do with each other. Just a coincidence. And it's just a coincidence now that all of them have run like, you know, had their live streams today all about like, oh, we're being silenced. We will not be silenced. I'm going to boycott this movie. And be sure to donate to my Patreon and add a super chat so I'll read your comment on my live stream. And you are being suckered. Hucksters. Snake oil salesmen. I generally will kind of maybe give Ethan Van Sciver slightly more credit than some of these other channels, because at least the dude's actually trying to make something and isn't just entirely talking shit. But let's be honest, I kind of feel that I remember early on when he jumped into the Star Wars conversation. I had already been exposed to his channel just from his, you know, like videos about talking about pens and crap like that for comic drawing. And I remember his earliest videos about Star Wars was real kind of like just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on and not really coming across as like a hardcore super fan who'd been paying attention to everything up until this moment. He'd just like, whoa, there's all this Star Wars controversy going on. What's up with it? And then after that, though, like within a couple months, he's like starting off his videos talking about like, I'm a super Star Wars fan. Really? You weren't at the beginning? I equate him to Alex Becker, who also is a snake oil salesman type who used the Star Wars outrage, making videos, capitalizing on that. It doesn't, like, not mattering whether or not what he was saying is a genuine reflection of how he actually feels about it, or whether or not any of the things he's saying are valid points. Many of the things that the people in the agitation camp say, they are valid points. It's the way they're being used, I guess you could say. It's the spin. It's the cynicism of jumping into this conversation to gain traction. So like in Ethan Van Sciver can promote his comics, which is not as bad as Alex Becker, who apparently sells motivational courses and mugs. I don't know. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's check out these juicy, delicious comments. All right. For my video, Geeks Plus Gamers and the Captain Marvel Rotten Tomatoes hoax. 13 comments. Libtards applauding corporate censorship. What a world. I don't think I've been called a libtard in at least 6 years. Normally, I get falsely accused of being alt-right or a Russian troll. Okay. Years ago, where have you been? Your argument is all over the place. Good job trying to sound educated. Thumbs down. A Wrinkle of Time was 8 months ago. Okay. Yes, I misspoke on that because I was just rambling off the cuff. No script because I'm just rambling off the cuff. I'm not a public speaker. It was just a video I decided to throw together kind of last second, right before I ran off for work. So, yeah, it's fine. As it only being 8 months ago, and me feeling like it's 2 years, well, it does fucking feel like a lot longer than 8 months ago. I'm willing to accept that my statement of the exact timing is off, but it doesn't negate the idea that these are statements that she made for a press tour for another movie before she was officially out there promoting Captain Marvel in any way, shape, or form. I mean, she had just barely been cast at the time. Tell me, what is your name? You're free to go enjoy Captain Marvel just as everyone else is free to their opinions, uses, videos. I don't know why you need my name for that. This has nothing to do with opinions. You're being defrauded. You are being frauded. Yup, we are angry. Anti-Trekker sent me to spice it up. Yup, I wouldn't think of telling people to break things on rating sites. You forget John Stead's adventures way back in the 70s and 80s, like Mr. Rory. I like fire, but I'm very selective and give thought to things that should be burnt. And of course, it's a hoax with the aberrant votes. Is that supposed to spice it up? Kind of bland. Wait, is this soy? People have a right to their opinion, just like you, even though you make shit points. Oh, I make shit points, that explains why this video has got way more average views and interactions than any other videos I normally make in any relatable sense of time. I'm not sure if you're ignorant of the culture we're going on or support soy-based SJW. However, I would absolutely watch Jake Skywalker. I see Cap Marvel burn to the ground. I bet money you're a fan of Collider. Wow, no, I don't like Collider. Oh my fucking god. Yeah. I would recommend watching my Time Hitler comedy routine, which is something I'm working on and is still a work in process, but I've posted a few videos of it as I've like tried to tighten the nuts and bolts on it. It's still a ways away before I'm willing to debut it in front of a live audience. But no. Oh god. Let's see. Surf Trektronics. I would be willing to have a constructive conversation about anti-fans, fan agitators. My videos explain my stance. That's fine. Possibly you can find me on Twitter at KWaspinator or on minds.com at KingWaspinator5000. Let's see. Green Arrow 615. Geeks and Gamers itself is a hoax. Jeremy is the most hypocritical and fake guy I've ever seen on YouTube. Like, I wouldn't be surprised with all his hate talk that he has The Last Jedi and Solo in his movie collection. Yeah, because you have to be able to watch these fucking things in order to be able to fucking nitpick them so much. Okay, well, let's see. Green Arrow had a reply from someone who said, that guy is the best I've ever seen. You must be mad just because he point out things that you don't want to. I'm not really mad at all. Just my observation. He'll get mad at someone for something and turn around and do it to himself. But hey, I guess spouting hate and anger creates stuff, so good for him. He figured out what gets clicks since 98% of his content is bitching about stuff. Okay, let's see. Censorship is bad. This is what happens when you use movie for activism, you stupid American. This world are not revolve around white people. Look at your American woman. They are a mess. Okay. This isn't about censorship, you dumb fucks. Not being allowed to thumbs down something isn't censorship. Or if it is censorship, it's such a minor level of censorship. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, aren't you the ones that are constantly like... Especially when it's censorship that you egg them into doing to you so you can then go cry about it. That's the whole point about this. It's not... What Rotten Tomatoes did was a reaction to something they were provoked into doing so that the people who provoked them into doing that can then take their reaction to generate noise with. Let's see. Erica Johnson, you are an absolute idiot. Well, that's a pretty not picture in your empty little bubble icon. Okay, fine. Man, I feel destroyed. I'm sad. Like I said, it's human psychology. If I was making a video that had struck no notes of truth and made no points that didn't hit home somehow, it would have been completely a whiff. No one would have looked at it. No one would have reacted to it. But something caused a bunch of people to come here and watch this shit and be angry, pissed. So I'll leave it to you to determine exactly what those things were that caused these reactions. I don't retract any essential arguments that I was making, though. Okay, you want to like make a little factual nudge because I was off about when Wrinkle in Time happened. Fine. Last year instead of 2 years ago. It's not that big of a deal on the long-term scale of things. It still doesn't really radically shift the timeline of events. Ever since that incident happened, which I remember these channels, making a point out, talking about back when it happened. And I even have my own old videos kind of predicting that all this was going to occur at some point down the line anyway. In fact, some of my old videos actually seem to pan out pretty well into predictions, which is exactly what you'd expect from an absolute idiot. So, yeah, whatever. Do you understand what clickbait is? Apparently not. Anyway, be sure to hit like and subscribe. Hit the bell if you want notifications. And go fuck yourself.